What's up, all? So I'm about to have a meeting with somebody that I met over at a startup website called startb.io. And that's kind of a site that I thought that would just not really generate to many leads, and because I thought it's new and I don't really know just what to think of it. It's new and it could be just mostly spam, it could just be mostly scammers. So I got kind of like an influx of messages. So the way it works is you got this like really kind of lean profile and people search for what they need. Like, I guess I'm kind of classed as more of like a technical co-founder. So if somebody's got an idea and they got more so like business sense and marketing sense behind them, they can come out and look for a technical co-founder. And so I put myself on there that I'd be interested in some technical co-founder roles in case my idea doesn't work out, and I'm open to just like working with other people if they have a really good idea. I've had a couple of chats with them. It hasn't really gone anywhere yet, but this is the first person that I've met that is actually in Toronto. She says that she's pretty close to the WeWork, so I just suggested to come by at a time that suits her, and she's about to show up in 5 minutes, I think. So we'll see how that goes. The main things I'm looking for, I've got a list of questions that I just note down in my notepad. So the main things I'm just going to be asking is, what's your idea, first of all? And that's normally a good conversation starter. Who do you have helping out so far? Is it just yourself, or do you have some other people? How far are you into executing? Like, how far is this kind of at the idea stage, or is this actually just like being done yet? Are you working on this currently? And then the next question, are you bootstrapping or angel funding? I talked about bootstrapping a little bit. For people that aren't sort of familiar with that term, it's basically about if you've self-funded, if you've got like funds to sort of cover your execution for 6-12 months or however long it is until you're willing to let the idea die. That's bootstrapping. And finally, I'm going to ask how long until revenue. So this is basically just, and I'm going to do it in as friendly as a way as I can. This is just a way I can kind of scope out what kind of support she has. Because I'm probably, like, if somebody asked me these questions, I wouldn't really have good answers for them. So then if she says something like, oh, I'd love you to sort of help out in this, be a technical co-founder, but I can't give you any money for it, I might be a bit more hesitant. But if she says, well, I can't give you any money for it, but we are closing funding in the next month, then I might be more willing. There's 10 to 20 different responses, different scenarios that I could say yes or no to. So this will just give me a basic indicator about, how sort of serious this is, what her connections are like, her networking, and basically how valid her idea is, if it's got any revenue potential and stuff. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right, so I had the meeting and it went pretty well, I think. She's working on an idea that sounds like there could be a strong need for it. I'm not going to say the space because that's kind of like her right to actually just like, disclose details on that, but I can just tell you a little bit about how it went and, what I'm looking for in a co-founder, and I guess what other people are looking for maybe. So, she said that she's got some interesting background actually, just like a combination of healthcare and also lately, I'm not sure how much, but probably quite a few years of like as a business analyst in business strategy and stuff like that. All kind of areas I'm liking in. Kind of the perfect person to be more of like a CEO role. I've often thought that I'd be, a good second in command for a startup. So I'm still a little bit hesitant to do my own thing where it'd be actually, CEO. I'd much rather let somebody else be the primary lead, and then I'll just be like the technical lead or product lead. So one of the two. But yeah, in terms of like business, I'd rather somebody else sort of like take the reins of that. So it sounds like she's pretty experienced in that, and obviously would be leading the product as well. We had a pretty fluent chat. It's always I think more of a warning sign when you're actually sitting, and it's the same for like a job interview as well. It's more like a more casual job interview. You're asking questions about each other. You're telling each other a little bit about your background, but it's not kind of hostile. You're not really trying to sort of prove or outwit somebody. You're trying to sort of like see, what is this person looking for, and can I work for them, or can I work with them rather than can I work for them? And ironically, in my opinion, that's how most job interviews should go anyway, which is part of the messed up thing about work culture. But I don't want to get into that again. I've said enough about that in my earlier videos for now. I can get into that later again if you want. So yeah, it was a good sign that it didn't drag on. I booked this room for about an hour. It's got a nice little TV there. Yeah, you can see that. It's got a whiteboard. We don't need any of that stuff. we're just talking. The hour filled up pretty quickly, so that was good. So she's in a very early phase where she hasn't built it, obviously, because she's not a technical co-founder. It doesn't matter if you're technical or not, you still need to go into this phase. If you're launching a product, you need to go, the first phase you go into is like validate the idea, see if anybody would want it. I don't really know a lot about that stuff still, but you know, there's various ways that you can do that, and I'm trying to sort of do that with HealthRank. So, you know, I'm learning as I go there. But she's in that validation phase, and also user research or market research phase. She's also researching about like, are there any competitors in addition to would people want this? And if there are any competitors, how far are they? Because that all sort of determines whether it's worth it or not to actually build something. She's working full time, but she's taken a few weeks off before Christmas. So she's going to be working on some kind of, fleshing out some ideas in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And then getting back to me after that, so probably at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. And I proposed 2 routes. Like I said, look, obviously this is the first time we've met each other, even though we like each other. But obviously this is just the first time, so it'll be a big ask if you expect someone to come on as like a co-founder the very first time you meet them. It's kind of like asking somebody to get married on the first date. So I said, I didn't say that, but that's generally just like knowledge, I told her a little bit about the creative angle or the creative arm that I'm doing for my business. I'm calling it Healer Street Creative. It's kind of like an agency version, I guess, where I can sort of offer some contracting services and test this stuff out. Anything from like wireframing, MVP building, anything along the MVP route. Wireframing, design, research even, which I know some people that are experiencing, so I can definitely bring them on board if I really need to, and obviously development. So I said to her, through my creative arm, Healer Street Creative, I can actually offer some contract work if she wants, if she just wants me to build something for like 1 day a week or even full time, or just for free, like she can just call me up or just get in touch whenever she wants. Feel free to ask me questions, because that will sort of get me interacting with her and increasing our relationship and seeing how we actually converse with each other, seeing if we're good to work with each other. So that's not a waste of time either for me. So that's just nurturing. That's not something to do with contract work. I want her to sort of pick my brains a bit. I want her to sort of I told her it's actually worth seeing how far you can go with this before getting someone technical to help you. And also that's, if I come on board as technical co-founder or technical contractor, that's what I'd be doing first. I'd be seeing how far I can go first, using as much tools with no code as long as possible. So yeah, I think she appreciated that. It was a good talk. But yeah, if you like this video, like and subscribe please. I'm just starting on this, just trying to build up this channel, so that would really help immensely. And if you do or don't, just leave a comment down below, tell me what you think, and see you next time. Thanks, good night.